Good afternoon and welcome to this BU Met Live Facebook Live event here at Boston University's Metropolitan College. My name is John Cornyn and I am the Executive Director of the Graduate Admissions Office here at Met.
Hi, I'm Atavia Pomzon, Graduate Admissions Advisor for the Computer Science Department.
And I'm Eric Braude, Professor of Computer Science in the Metropolitan College of Boston University.
And we are delighted for you to be joining us here this afternoon to talk about our Master of Science in Software Development program. And before we talk with Dr. Braude, who is the Program Director of the Mssd program, we want to give a brief overview of Metropolitan College and the Mssd program itself. As you may know, BU is a top-ranked teaching and research school, and we are a pretty big place, the fourth largest private institution in the United States with over 33,000 students, over 10,000 faculty members, and 17 different schools and colleges or divisions of study. Metropolitan College is one of those 17 divisions and perhaps the one most dedicated to creating flexible courses and programs for our students. The mission of MET is to create a very rigorous and engaging educational experience for the working adult. And in short, you can very much customize the courses and the program of study you have here at MET. Our students are taking a mix of either part-time or full-time coursework, either on campus in face-to-face classrooms or through an online format. And you can really fit your academic schedule into your work schedule if that is something you are doing. Many of our students are taking part-time courses, a long time working full-time as well. We also have lots of entry points throughout the course of the year. We have a fall, a spring, and also a summer start option. And for students in our online program, there are actually mid-semester starts where you can start either mid-fall, mid-spring, or mid-summer as well. We allow students also to enroll in one or two courses on a non-degree status if you're interested in really viewing a course or two before fully applying and enrolling into a degree program. So that is another option for you as a prospective student. In total, Metropolitan College has over 70 certificate and master's degree programs, one of which is our Master of Science in Software Development.
Yeah. So our Mssd program provides depth that a boot camp really just can't get into. It is an interdisciplinary program and will give you some great practical, hands-on kind of approach to the study itself. Upon graduation, our students are able to engage with clients. They're able to define software needs as well as lead development teams. And if you want to just think about the program as a general overview, it's comprised of 8 classes. So 6 of those will be your core curriculum, and then 2 will be general electives. Some of our more popular classes are our machine learning course, our agile software development course, as well as our mobile app development course with Android. Our classes are also taught by full-time PhD level faculty members as well as professionals within the field. And on average, you can finish this program as quickly as 16 months. We do see some of our students go 16 to 24 months, again, just depending on the pace that you need to go for the program. But you do have up to 5 years to complete your degree here at MET. The great thing as well is that you don't necessarily need to have a background within computer science to be eligible to apply to our programs. However, if you don't have a technical background, you might be required to take our 7-week preparatory course, Introduction to Software Development.
So at this point, we want to turn to you, Dr. Braude, and I'll start by asking, what in general students can expect in terms of enrolling into the Mssd program, and what is really the mission for you as a faculty member for students in the program?
Well, our main mission is to have students prepared to understand requirements, to gather requirements in the real world, to translate those into actual working programs that are reliable and robust and secure. That's what we have. That's our main focus for the program.
Awesome. And what would you say makes the Mssd program here at MET so unique?
Well, it's one of the only software development master's programs that you can get into, especially online. I think it's quite unique. And it's not software engineering, it's not computer science, it's specifically oriented towards software development, because we identified that within almost every industry, software development is the name of the need, has a certain requirements, and that's where we're delivering to students.
So why would you say now in 2018 is an important time for students to be pursuing a degree in software development specifically?
Well, if you look at almost every industry, automobiles, I was just in Sweden or near the Volvo plant, and there are multiple software service companies that service just automobiles, because in an automobile there are tens and tens of computers, hundreds in trucks. Each one of these requires programs to operate it. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Almost every industry, marketing, business, finance, requires software development. And there's a great need for such people. They need to understand the business need. They need to translate those into working programs.
As a follow-up, how have you seen the industry change over the last 5 or 10 or 15 years in terms of what it is today, maybe different than it was just a few years ago?
Well, it used to be we thought of software like we thought of engineering a bridge, where you first design the bridge, and that takes quite a while, and then you construct the bridge from that design. What we find today is that business needs and technical needs change. So we can't afford to spend a long period of time just on design and then freeze that design and then implement. We have to interleave those two. So this leads to what we call agile development. That's a central focus of our program.
Fantastic. And what types of students are enrolling in our program?
They come from all kinds of backgrounds. Some of them have some technical background. Others come from psychology, history. They're simply interested in IT, interested in computing, interested in programming in one way or another. And that's what got them piqued into the degree. And so they decide to grow and change careers perhaps and go into this high demand field.
And what have you seen on average that our graduates are doing? What are some examples of students you've taught in terms of what they're doing after the completion of the program?
You name it. I would say a vast majority of our students, this is just a sort of from anecdotal evidence, are in a certain company and they take the degree in order to move up and to find a role within the company that's more secure, that has more of a future. That's a lot of our students. They don't really move from their company, they simply enhance their position. I've got students who've gone on to grad school, gone into PhD programs. I've had students who actually are instructors in their colleges and universities in other countries.
Right.
Wow. And out of curiosity too, what programming languages will students be introduced to in this program?
Well, definitely learn Python. They'll certainly learn Java. They'll probably learn Android, especially if they pick the mobile class. They might learn other web languages. One of the features of software development is you have to be able to learn new languages. So it's not like these languages will last them for their whole life. What will last them for their whole career is the ability to pick up a language, what to look for.
Great. Metropolitan College really offers a lot of specialized programs, especially within the computer science department. And one question we get a lot is the difference between this software development program and the web application development concentration that we have in our computer information systems program. So how can you speak to the differentiation of this program from that concentration?
Well, there are quite a few people who work on websites and what goes somewhat behind those websites. And that's a somewhat special field within the whole enterprise of software. Software development is much, much broader than websites. As I mentioned, automobiles earlier, accounting, these are not necessarily web. There might be a web part of it, but the vast core of the work is way behind, and that's what we concentrate on.
Great. For those just tuning in, again, my name is John Corning, Executive Director of Graduate Admissions. We're pleased to be here with Dr. Eric Braude from our Master of Science in Software Development program. We encourage you to type in questions that you may have, and we're going to get to those in just a minute, and we'll be sure to answer those. So again, you can type those right in on your Facebook page. I wanted, before we get into questions from the audience, talk a little bit about our admissions process. And for those of you who are prospective students, what to expect in terms of the next steps. So the first step in applying is, of course, submitting an application itself, and you can find that on our website. If you go to bu.edu/MET, M-E-T, there are links to the application itself. It's an $85 application fee to apply to one of our master's degree programs, such as Mssd. Within the application, you'll be asked, of course, your demographic information, but also to provide a statement of purpose or an essay talking about your interest in the software development program and why it is you want to be enrolling in this master's degree. We'll ask for a resume and a look at what your experiences have been, especially work-related experiences and anything, of course, related to the field of software development, which will be relevant in our review. We will ask for the submission of all college transcripts of any college you have attended and completed academic work. Official transcripts will be required for your enrollment, but you can upload unofficial transcripts to help expedite the review of your application early on, but again, that will be required for you to enroll in the program. And lastly, we ask for 3 letters of recommendation, one of which should be from an academic person if you have been enrolled in college within the last 3 years. Otherwise, we do welcome work or professional references, but 3 total letters of recommendation are required for the completion of your application. We do not require standardized tests, so if you've taken the GMAT or the GRE, that is not a requirement, but we would welcome you to submit either official or unofficial test scores if you feel that will be a strength to your application. And if you are an international student or have completed coursework at a non-English taught university overseas, we will ask for a TOEFL or an IELTS examination to be submitted, and those minimum requirements of both of those exams are listed on our website as well. In terms of timeline, we are a rolling admissions process, so the sooner you apply, the sooner you will get your decision, and we fill spots in our class on a rolling basis, so we always encourage students to submit an application as soon as they know this is the program of interest for them. The next opportunity for enrollment is for our fall 2018 term, and we are still accepting applications. If you're interested in online, you must apply within a few weeks prior to the start of classes, and for fall that would be August 10th. We'd ask you to submit your application. If you're looking for the on-campus program, you can actually apply right up to the first day of classes in early September, but again, the sooner you submit an application, the better. In terms of criteria, most students generally have a 3.0 GPA or higher when they are applying to be offered admission, but that is not a requirement. We especially are going to value, again, those work experiences, your resume, and all the other components of your application, including your letters of reference and your essay and statement of purpose as well. So with all of that said, I'm going to turn it to you, the audience, and look at the questions that are now coming in. Let me just log into my computer. So one question we have here is, what is the minimum duration of this program, and if students are generally doing full-time or part-time?
Sure.
I'll turn it to you.
Yeah, so the minimum amount of time that somebody could complete this program would be 16 months. So most of our students, not all, but most are working professionals, so I think a lot of people tend to gravitate towards the online part-time route. If you are local in the Boston area and really value having some wonderful face time, not only with faculty and staff, but also your peers as well in the courses, you know, on campus might appeal to you as well. But kind of thinking about the minimum duration, you'd be looking right at about 16 months, as the program is comprised of 8 courses total.
Great. Another question, in terms of the master's degree, is there an option of getting a graduate certificate or pursuing something else within MET alongside the Mssd program?
Sure, yeah, so our computer science department, we do have 4 master's programs and then roughly 13 graduate certificates. So there's a lot of options as to where you want to be focusing your studies. So thinking about wanting to do a graduate certificate alongside a master's program is certainly something that the computer science department would be able to support you in while doing so. So definitely an option for our students who are looking to do both types of programs alongside each other.
Another question coming in about, you know, what students are taking away, other than just the knowledge of the program, from their studying in it. And it's my understanding students do a portfolio, is that correct, and have that they can take with them upon graduation from the program?
Yes, we encourage projects in our class. The class I'm teaching right now, which is programming techniques, advanced programming techniques, each student does their own project, and we encourage that in other classes. So by the end of the program, they have a portfolio of projects they've actually implemented. They can show to prospective employees, to their managers. They have this collection.
Great. And another question about kind of academic related, what the curriculum is. The full curriculum of this program is on our website, and again, bu.edu/MET. And if you also add a /MSSD, that is where you can in particular find out information about this program. The full curriculum is listed there, both the core courses you mentioned and the elective courses. But I don't know if you could speak, Dr. Braude, a little bit about maybe a few of the courses or your favorite courses that you
Sure.
teach within the program itself.
Yeah, well, we're always updating the curriculum to take into account where things are going.
Mm-hmm.
For example, in the fall, we're introducing the first machine learning class, which I've been teaching at Boston University for over 25 years. And so we finally translated it to an online version together with an implementation. Again, every student does their own project. They do a collection of data from a certain source, and they use the data to do predictions or to make analyses of where things are going in various fields, various industries.
Great. Another question about how the online program differs from the on-campus program, and which should a student do, Tavia?
Wow, great question. So virtually there are a few differences, but there are also a lot of similarities between our online and on-campus formats. So at the end of the day, the curriculum is the same no matter what the format is, and they're taught by the same faculty. We don't have a different set of faculty teaching on campus as opposed to online. So same professors, same syllabus that you'll be looking at. The main difference is going to be what your class schedule looks like. So our online courses are only taught within a 7-week session. You do take courses asynchronously, so one at a time. So you focus on one class per 7 weeks. So for our online students, it is a bit more accelerated in that regard. The course kind of does go by within that 7-week span. On campus is a little different. It follows that traditional 14-week on-campus semester. You might want to take, if you're a part-time student, you'll either be taking 1 or 2 classes throughout those 14 weeks. If you're a full-time student, you'll likely be taking about 3 to 4 courses throughout that semester. And those classes, they do meet once a week. So depending on your schedule, you might be on campus here once a week or up to 4 times a week if you're full-time. So really the difference is going to be seen when you look at the class calendar and schedule itself, the time that it will take you to finish the course, if you take courses simultaneously or kind of one by one, again, which is how our online courses are offered. And that's virtually the main differences between the two.
And I'll emphasize that for students who are taking on-campus coursework that is predominantly offered in the evening hours, that really is, again, designed for the working adult. And then obviously there's a lot of flexibility with the online course schedule, but it does allow for our students to continue working full-time, as many do, either through the online or the on-campus format. Another question about tuition. So I know there's a breakdown between part-time and full-time tuition, and that's the big one. Correct?
Sure, yeah. So there is a difference between part-time and full-time tuition. For our part-time students, kind of the 3 main numbers that you would want to be keeping in mind is, one, that you do pay per credit. So you kind of pay as you enroll in courses for those individual classes, the tuition for them. So again, pay by credit. There also will be, if you're an online student, online technology fees. And then for both online and on-campus students, there are student services fees for registering. If you are a full-time student, you kind of pay one lump sum for the semester in total. So that would be that set number twice a year if you're going to be taking courses throughout the whole fall and whole spring semester. And all of our tuition rates, the most current tuition rates, are located on our website. So we definitely encourage folks to check that out as well.
We also have an alumnus of the program who's on here saying hello, so thank you for the hello. And I think we have time for one more question I'll pose to you, Dr. Braude, is what advice you would have for prospective students kind of looking to enroll in this program, and how to be most successful, perhaps, in the program itself?
Well, I think the first thing is to decide and to get advice as to whether you need the prerequisite course, CS300. Are you coming with enough that is already covered by that, or do you need it? So that's the first thing. And then you also have to be prepared to spend a lot of time. It's a lot of hard work. You can't become a software developer without a lot of effort. So it's intense, and you should be prepared for that. You'll be doing a lot of project work, so it's also very rewarding. You've got your 7-week class, and you don't have a lot of spare time during that 7 weeks to do other things besides your job, your family, and your course. So it's important to have a good mental attitude beforehand to accept that. Otherwise, you're going to come out a changed person.
Great. And I will make clear that in the review of your application back to the prerequisite, that is part of the review that takes place, whether or not a student is recommended to take that course based on your experiences in the field. That is something that will be determined in the review of your application. We're coming up in 30 minutes as promised to keep this under that, so we're going to conclude this session, but I wanted to end by sharing a few reminders, and the first of which is, again, to visit the Metropolitan College website if you haven't done so already. A lot of what we spoke of today, and certainly more information is there, both on the college as a whole, but about the MSSD program. And again, you can go to bu.edu/MET, M-E-T. And if you add a /MSSD, you can provide your information. If you'd like to learn more about the program, we will actually give you a call or send you an email, and we can have a very personalized conversation about your interests in MSSD and how we can help you in enrolling into this program. For those who are in the Boston area, we also will be hosting an open house on Saturday, July 21st. So coming up in a few weeks at 10:30 a.m. Registration for this event is on our website. We welcome you to come. You'll learn more about our programs. We'll have faculty there to talk, and we'll be presenting information there. And lastly, we will be having our next BU Met Live event next Wednesday, June 27th, also at 2:30 p.m. So we welcome you to come back and join us at that time. We'll be speaking with Professor Stephen Quigley from Metropolitan College's Health Communication program. We're looking forward to that conversation and hope that you can join us then. So again, a great thanks to you, Dr. Braude, for joining us, and a thank you to all of you. Thanks again.